Hey, what's up guys, it's Oakley, and a lot of news coming at us today as this latest rally point comes out. The sheer amount of stuff that's going on at CA is really exciting for us. It must be hell, to be honest, to be at their office. I'm sure they're super busy, but for us it just means a lot more stuff to cover. So let's go through the first part, and this is going to be, they talk mostly with Warhammer, talking about the warrior priest. They show us some new images, and basically they give us a little bit of an intro about the history of Sigmar. Sigmar, they reiterate, is in the Warhammer lore the one who united the disparate tribes of the Empire, brought them together, led them in battle. They repulsed enemy invasions, and then finally he kind of disappeared towards the end of that, and kind of then went on to become there was a cult following that came around him, and so he rode off into the sunset and left in his wake this cult of Sigmar, which they say specifically in the video is a type of religion. Now, as far as I can tell, I think this is the first time they mention religions or cultures in the game, which really got me pretty excited, because if they say the cult of Sigmar is going to act like a religion, well, that means that's going to be something you have to manage in your provinces. Obviously, religions is something we knew happened before, but this just got me thinking, once they confirm this, then they still haven't really mentioned how chaos works, but when they start to mention religion, this is what I started to think about. You think of the chaos gods, you have Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, and Slaanesh, and the way those works is we'll pick Nurgle for instance. This is the god of plague, despair, and disease, and death. So maybe what can happen actually in the game is, just like in previous Total War games, you want to keep your religion, more in your favor, in line with your centralized religion. You want your provinces to follow that religion, otherwise it causes unrest. In this case, however, what if there's plague in one of your areas and you don't have someone to counteract that plague, or you let it fester? Then what will probably happen is you'll start to see a conversion perhaps to the sort of Nurgle chaos god, and maybe as that happens you'll have spring up, not rebellions, maybe you'll have some chaos demons or some plague bearers and stuff like that start to appear. So that's kind of what jumped to mind when I heard of the cult of Sigmar religion. And that's hopefully how I hope they take religion into effect, where religion just doesn't mean public unhappiness. It could actually mean, the appearance or the effect of some of the chaos gods, popping up your lands, and you have to put out chaos uprisings coming up within your empire. I'm probably all butchering the lore, but that's, I'll defer to people like Arch Warhammer. Anyways, they continue on talking about the warrior priest, and they say, of course, this is a hero unit which acts as an agent, very much like agents in previous Total War games. However, besides having just the ranking up ability, the skills, and the ability to unlock equipment, they also function on the battlefield. This is something we knew about before. Just to reiterate, however, hero units like the warrior priest are individual guys. They don't come with a posse of bodyguards like the lords or legendary lords. Warrior priests and the category they're in, which is heroes, are going to be by themselves. Specifically about the warrior priests, they say on the campaign map they're good at spreading the cult of Sigmar. So like I said, spreading that religion and perhaps keeping the the influence of chaos down within your provinces. I hope that's a prominent mechanic. And then additionally, what's new to Warhammer is you can bring these types of agents onto the battlefield as part of your army. Specifically, the warrior priests have been said to be strong warriors, so we see a little bit of them in the Blackfire Pass video. Not much in action, they kind of cut away. I'd imagine it's still in development, but they did show a little bit of the animations here. And then they said these guys, they will be okay priests, but mostly they're going to function as support roles. So what they did mention in the video is they can buff units, debuff enemy units, and then they have some minor damaging spells. So I'm glad to see these guys in that kind of mixed support role. Always like the ability to micro and determine small parts of your battlefield. I think that'll be really cool. And then an additional thing that I will mention, if you go and look at the Battle of Blackfire Pass, those little beams of white light above characters, it seems like that is only going over magic, principally magical agents and spellcasters. They did say here that the warrior priests can cast buffs and debuffs and damage spells, but in the video we don't see them with the white light over the head, which sort of to me indicates that they're not a primary, spell keeper, or spell caster, I should say. Anyways, that's going to be it. Then towards the end of this, they say they're going to continue their introducing blah 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 series, which is where they spotlight various things, where they had the Luminarch, the Demigryphs and stuff like that. They said that's going to continue. Then they said to stay tuned for Gamescom, where they're going to be showing more of the same gameplay for Blackfire Pass. But also they hinted a possible teaser at the end of that, so they'll probably show another glimpse or of something else to come. Then in the rest of the rally point, I'll go over this really quickly. They mostly just talk a little bit about Arena, how it continues to be improved. There's a new map. They're implementing proper unit collision. They're rebalancing cavalry morale and charge. They're tweaking the reward system. So for instance, you get sort of rewards for blocking missiles to help your allies. For counter capping, so stopping a capture at your base, which promotes, not everyone swarming the enemy base. You get promoted for defending as well. And then enemy spotting, they're changing a bit how that works. So I haven't played too much of Arena lately, mostly due to the fact that I'm still not settled into my final place. I'm kind of crashing at my girlfriend's house right now. But yeah, I'm definitely, I can feel that Arena itch, and hopefully once I get all settled in, I'll be able to play some Arena, and we can explore those new mechanics, because they do look promising. Anyway, stay tuned. There's going to be more news here to come. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.